Former Marine Corps infantry officer and chair of the Lavender Dems, Stephanie Wade.
Thanks, Byron. So, I'm from a long line of veterans, people who've served, including my grandfather, who was a career officer and
it was 81 years ago.
Landed on the beaches of Normandy to kill Nazis. But today isn't about, me or Byron or Greg. As they've said, it's about remembering our war dead. It's about dead sailors, dead soldiers, dead Marines, people who gave their lives for freedoms that are being taken away. So I would like to ask you all to keep Memorial Day in your hearts every year. And tomorrow, if you don't know anyone to keep in mind and to think about and to honor, I'd be really pleased and I would be honored if you'd remember a good friend of mine. Johnny Michael Spann and I served together in the Marine Corps. He was the executive officer, the second in command, and I was the operations officer of a unit that deployed to South Africa, Namibia, and 9 different South American countries. We knew on that deployment that we were both getting out, and we talked about it a lot. I was getting out because the hardships of frequent separations and moves and just military life was too hard on my young family. So I was getting out to do less. Mike had a young family too, but he was getting out to do more. He was joining the CIA and specifically its Special Operations Branch because he said America has enemies and he wanted to fight them. Mike got his wish. On October 17, 2001, he was among the first 8 CIA operatives in a CIA A-team that entered Afghanistan. They were the first Americans on the ground fighting even before any special operations troops were there. A few weeks later, on November 25th, Mike was in a prison in Mazar-e Sharif when there was an uprising. 2 eyewitnesses saw the mob coming towards him and saw Mike raise his SKS, or his AKMS assault rifle and take out several of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda prisoners who were attacking him. And he continued to fire until he was tackled from behind. And even then, he got 2 rounds off with his Glock 19. But by the time one of his CIA teammates fought his way to Mike's position and killed the 4 terrorists that were on top of him, Mike was already dead, beaten to death. The CIA team had to beat a hasty retreat, and it was 3 more days before they could recover Mike's body. So that's somebody you can think about tomorrow. Learn a little bit about him. Look up Johnny Michael Spann. Learn about what a man he was and the family he left behind. And I'd appreciate that. But whoever you remember tomorrow, I want you to remember that they gave what Lincoln called the last full measure of devotion. And I want you to ask yourself how you can be worthy of the sacrifice they made. Not all of us need to die, be arrested, or harassed. We need to provide the background because some of us will need to do that to end this brutal regime. And we need to provide the background for that. We need to show courage. Courage is infectious, as is cowardice. So I'm asking you to be courageous. That's what you're doing here today. But I have a specific request and a way to honor those who've given their lives for this country and the freedoms. We all know, by virtue of you being here, you know that the men, and they're mostly men, in power in all 3 branches of government are turning down and tearing down all those things we hold sacred and dear. And so I'm asking every patriotic American here in Orange County, in California, and across the country to do what I did this morning. This morning, I got out an American flag and I hung it from my balcony upside down. Everybody in America knows what that means by now. I want you to demonstrate that at your residence. If you don't already own one, go out and purchase an American flag and hang it in front of your residence, because it is precisely the least we can do for those who died for this country. Thank you.